were your thoughts on the documentary? I don't want to slag it off. I do realise we have some people from the, can I call it, accident group, truth group. We have Savage Shark. Hi, Chris, or Savage Shark, whichever you want to be known as. Nobody give anyone a hard time if they can in the chat, and we've got our lovely mods in the chat. So my opinion, you've already seen the video before, hopefully. So yeah, there wasn't an awful lot of information, not what we know, but bearing in mind, some of it was shot an awful long time ago, and some of it was a bit wishy-washy, wasn't it, really? But you can understand that it's not alive like this, which is totally different, as you can see, as you can tell. So what do you think in the chat? Get chatting to others and just debate. You may have thought it was fine, and it got the message out there that content creators go too far sometimes. We can go too far sometimes, and our suspicions can hurt other people. We don't understand why it's hurting other people, but it is. It's not nice. So where do we go from here? So all we've got to do is stop, really, haven't we? And then accept what they say. But there are still viewers and creators that do want answers. And what do we think about Warren? Do we think Warren actually wanted an answer? Does he still want an answer, or is he just accepting of what happened, accepting the verdict? What do you think? Just bear with, because I'm just going in. I don't know why it's not on my laptop, but there we go. I'm just going to go into, try and get a link. If anyone wants to come on, that's fine by me. And it will shut me up as well, which is good. Duncan's apparently maybe coming on later. He had to go to Aldi's. Was it Aldi's or Lidl's? What a commoner. Huh? Wouldn't catch me in there. I went there today. I went to Poundland today, actually. Man of class, of course. I hope everyone liked my garden room. Chris, if you're there, Chris, you can buy it off me. Come on. Garden room. What shall I charge? 50 grand? I won't say where it is. 50 grand? Let me try and get a link. So if I put a link in the chat, if anyone wants to pop up, you can just say hi if you want to. I'll just turn myself sideways. There we go. I might have to change the settings because I set it on you've got to verify yourself or something like that through social media, but I might have to change that so you can pop up. I don't understand it fully, as you know. It's still work in progress. Hope I'm not freezing. So I need that feedback. Jan, love you, Jan. Yeah, come on if you want to. Great. Be nice to talk to you. I do like your channel, if it's the same Jan. What a lovely woman. Scoobs. I can't really see all the chat. My laptop doesn't come up with anything. Why not? Why doesn't it work? I've got the intro. I don't know if the intro did the countdown. I like that countdown. Did it do the countdown? What a nightmare. Is everyone? Oh, brilliant. Add to stage. Jan is coming on. Don't know why I can't see you on the laptop. You should pop up in a minute, hopefully. The laptop, YouTube, it's working, but Should do. I might have to switch it off because it might come on echoey. Ugh, that's Duncan's face on YouTube. Come on, Dunk. No, he doesn't look bad for his age. 73, I think he is. Do I have to add you or something? Hang on. Ah, there we go. Add to stage.
Hey, can you hear me?
That's better. Hey, that's better. I'm not speaking to myself. Jan, I love your video. Your channel. I watch your channel. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Um,
I'm really
you're
sorry.
very
I
yeah.
haven't come over here before, and I must apologise. I don't know why.
No, you wouldn't
It's
because this is only my second live, so you wouldn't have done.
yeah.
You've got sorry, yeah.
I think
Carry on.
I may be able to help you with
Oh,
StreamYard.
brilliant.
I've been
Oh, brilliant.
live streaming for a long time,
Oh,
and
excellent.
I'm actually speaking on my phone at the moment because my computer is like enough already. There's too much
Yeah.
loaded on it. So I can't come on, I can't live stream or join a live stream with somebody because of my audio. So I'm on my phone. But
So am I. So am
yeah.
I.
All right.
But
Well, it's
mine seems
love.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it normally works okay. It's lovely to speak to you.
And you.
And yeah, let's get on with it. Let's talk about that joke
Yeah.
of a documentary.
Yeah. You're probably less diplomatic than me. I think when you get going, you're like a bull in a china shop. But you've got a very soothing. I said this to Duncan before. You've got a very soothing nature, and I think that not everybody, but I think a lot of people would like. They would be okay talking to you. They'd feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what about that documentary? Well,
yes. Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on the fact that I am a caring individual. And I want to say at this point that everybody that I've watched, whether it be Duncan, Wax, 1111 True Crime, those people are just as caring. And it infuriates me that the mainstream media try and paint all of us as people, as ghouls. What's the other words
yeah,
they use for us? Ghouls and people that are just attacking fans. That's not what we're doing.
yeah. We're called all sorts of things, but there's two sides to it. At all, we call them things as well. That's where it starts. As I've said before, they're looking at us as upsetting the family, but I think it goes a bit beyond that. People, I think, know that we're normal people, the same as what they are. We've got
Mm,
families, we care.
mm.
So it's crazy, really, in a way. But maybe I dwell on too much. People are going to have arguments. People are going to have twos and throws. Maybe I dwell on that too much.
I
But I
don't even
think,
think it's. I don't even think it's about having arguments. I mean, I've been talking about Jay Slater for over a year myself. But okay, so you've dropped. That's fine. Just come back in when you're ready. Hopefully, they'll still be able to hear me at least. But yeah, talking about myself, I've been covering Jay for a long, long time, and I know that the vast majority of us are purely looking for justice for Jay. That's what we want. And it's also that we're looking for justice for Nicola Bulley. In the same way, we are not people out here
um,
trying to hate on families. That's not what we're doing. Are you
yeah.
okay? Al, you're back, are you?
Did I disappear? Sorry. I said
I
I'd do
need
that.
to
But at least
we'll work.
you
Okay.
can.
I can't hear
at-
you. You're muted.
what? Oh, am I? Can you hear me
You're
now?
muted, honey.
Oh God, here we go.
Al, you're
Oh,
muted. I think
hang on.
we need to, after this, Al, I'm happy to talk to you.
Hear me now?
Um, I'll do a stream and I'll get you on. It won't be public, and I'll go
Yeah.
through all these steps,
Yeah. Great.
because StreamYard
Can you hear
is
me?
really good for doing this, and you can get a whole panel of people up there. So, can everybody hear me? Oh, okay, so
Can
everybody can hear him bar me. That's interesting.
Can everyone hear me?
Wow. All right, can you hear me? Okay, so some people are
Can
saying
everyone
they
hear
can
me
hear
and
both.
Jan?
Okay, unfortunately, I cannot hear Al. So, Al, I'm going to drop down and come back on.
Okay. Can everyone hear me now? Yeah. Thanks, moderators. Doing a great job. Yeah, the message pops up there. You can do that. Can everyone hear me? Can you put a 1? Somebody put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me. Can everyone hear me? Can you put a 1 in the comments? Brilliant, and I'll carry on then. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I heard it perfectly. I think I won't touch the chat. It's when I push the chat, I think it went wonky. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'll carry on. It's difficult talking to yourself when you don't know that you're on. So reiterated what Jan said. Chris, do you want to come on at all? Is Chris there? Chris, do you want to come on? Anyone else want to come on at all? It is better. Then you can let me know if you hear me or if the chat hears me, and I've got someone to talk to as well. I don't mind. I carry on talking. So yeah, for me, it showed. We knew that it would show some of the creators in a bad light. I've said before. So they said things perhaps they didn't mean in the beginning. Wax, no problem with you, Wax, no problem. You thought at the beginning that Debbie, we thought that there were all sorts of suspicions going on, and we thought that Debbie, oh, is she in on it? Is she? But then it faded away, didn't it? As it went on, as there were more suspicions added, then that went away from her. It's just something, maybe not me, but it's something that was natural. It's a natural situation. Immediately we think it's something to do with the family. If, like the Nicola Bully case, her husband, partner, we kind of thought he's the first one to suspect, and probably the police did to start with. And then we think, maybe, hang on a minute, hang on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Let's just turn that around. Judith Trigg, sorry, I'll come up that way. It's not good. I like to be like sideways, but I'll come up that way because I can see the chat. Judith Trigg, I thought it was unfair, she said. The way they treated Wax, as he was in communication with Warren at one point, Mama D always had good things to say about the family. Yeah, again, they picked out one thing, one bad thing, perhaps that they've said, as well as Marianne. You know, Marianne was giving the information, and as I said on my previous video, on my recorded video, you just flow with it to start with. I kind of hold back on things sometimes, but you just go with it. That's what happened. And then we thought, may not be so. We've got no evidence. And then we think, oh, why did we say that? But it's already clipped. It's already clipped. I'll put the StreamYard link again in the account. Thanks, mods. You're doing a great job. I kicked myself out then. Sorry about that. I'll just put that link in. So the link's in the chat. Duncan will be on later. He can talk for England, as he can talk more than me, actually. Yeah, so I'll be making a couple more videos, and then I'll be doing hopefully lives, be more experienced at it, whether it's other people's lives, etc., on true crime cases in general. But if you do want to talk a bit more and find out more information, then there are loads of other people. I'll add Jan again. She's coming back in. Hopefully she can hear me again. Should be there in one moment. Yeah, it's a crazy documentary. But so was there anything that you wanted to see on the documentary? And you're going to say everything, really. You wanted them to delve in. They only had an hour and 20 minutes. They had a criteria. Obviously, it was originally. It's hard to edit at short notice a documentary. So they wanted to. Duncan, come on in if you're in. There's a link in the chat. Yeah. So they wanted it to be in a certain way, and they wanted to just get the message across. Creators, come on with the wild theories or the nasty theories. But I think after a while, after a few months, it kind of went beyond that as such, I think, content-wise. And certainly, I haven't been on for a few months, have I, since the inquest, whenever the inquest was, I can't remember now. But I think it's got it in the last couple of months in the build-up to the inquest, it kind of possibly got a bit better. I'm not sure. What does everyone think? Did it get better or did it get worse? Jan, you're in. It says you're there, and I can't see you. Are you actually on stage? I can't see or hear you. On you then, Duncan. I'll just turn the... Add Jan. I have added her. It showed that she's in. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Yeah.
Bingo!
Teething trouble. Sorry, teething trouble. That's an
That's
awful
all
lot
right,
better.
Annie. You'll get the hang of it. I'll give you some
I'm
lessons.
not gonna touch the chat, because when I touch the chat, then I disappear.
Yeah, you don't need
But
to. You don't need to touch the chat. I can read the chat from here because I've got the
yeah,
map on as
that's
well.
good.
So
I feel like I need to keep up with it, but I don't really. Someone else, you can chat. Somebody else can chat amongst themselves, and if you can read it, you can mention, if you can,
yeah,
some of the questions that are being answered.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that somebody said that they felt sorry for Wax. I'm in agreement with that because, and I have been talking about it on Twitter when somebody said, "Oh, Wax and Duncan and Mama D got a cameo in there," and I was like, "Well, when the program is actually throwing criticism at people and accusing them of speaking ill of not only Jay but the family, I don't think anyone's going to be celebrating having their face shown as one of those people. I was praying they weren't going to put me up there because
Mm,
it's all wrong. It's
yeah.
not facts, and yeah, I'm not happy about it. I'm glad Dunk seems to be okay. Duncan, the link is on there, darling. If you go up,
I can
um,
do it again, maybe.
Al,
Yeah.
Al, if
Yeah.
you right, if you have a
Yeah. I got
look,
him. I got him. Here he is.
okay. Hey, Dunks, Dunks, put on your mic, darling. Put on your mic.
The mic's not on?
Yeah, you're on.
I can
You're
hear
on.
you. Yeah.
Okay,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
we're good.
On on my end,
You.
everything's on, and I don't have an echo that I sometimes have. So if you can all hear me and I can hear
Yeah.
you fine, I think we're okay.
This sounds good.
Can I
Hey,
just can I
Dunks.
just say can I just say first of all,
Hmm.
if I do disappear, you two know what you're doing. The chat knows what they're doing. If I do disappear, please carry on. Do whatever you want with it. Okay, over to you. Sorry.
Fine. Yeah, Dunks, can I ask, how did you feel about seeing your face on the screen?
I felt fine with it because I had a feeling. I don't know if Luggy had said something before the documentary. He mentioned something about Wax is going to get it, or I don't know. He said something about Wax, so I was kind of prepared for Wax to be featured a lot more than me. Um, and then, yeah, when I thought back on it, I thought I don't really know. This is going to surprise you. I don't really know what I said that is going to fit into this narrative of having attacked the family, because only recently have I started saying that a lot of what the family says, doesn't make sense. Early days, when I think the bulk of this documentary was made, I didn't really have a lot to say about Debbie, Warren, or Zach. It's just built up with me. It's just built up over time that
Mhm.
I really don't feel that they are, 100% honest with us in all this. That was just my feeling. But I don't know. I don't know. What about you, Jam? Did you think that? I mean, I don't think I was treated unfairly. They just played a clip, and that was it. Who in your mind, Jam, was treated unfairly there?
I feel all the creators um, were the only reason they showed it or showed the creators was in a negative way. And I'm sick and tired of mainstream media blaming YouTubers or TikTokers for upsetting the family. I mean, come on. All we're trying to do is find justice for Jay. Why did they not talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to Al Don's point about, only having a 1 hour documentary. You would have thought, even though they limited it to 1 hour, that the heart of the matter here was what happened to Jay. That was all swept aside, and it all became the awful reaction to the story of Jay. And I mean, I have this burning desire. I don't know how to do it, but I have a burning desire that the community that is outraged by what actually happened to Jay needs to put out their own documentary. Somehow we would have to sell it to mainstream media if we want a big platform, but um, we need some rebuttal to this because, like you, all I see is finger pointing at so-called nasty reaction to it. And I
Mm,
don't see a whole lot of examination of what actually went wrong from the moment Jay landed to the moment he ended up at the bottom of the ravine. And that is that what you're saying? I mean, we share this frustration that no one in media world seems to really look into that.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I how can I put it? I've worked on TV before. I know how these production companies work. I believe that they approached the family, specifically Debbie, about her side of the story. Her side of the story was very upsetting to watch. Nobody wants to see a grieving family. That's not what we want to see. And if they'd have gone along with that without then putting the negativity, the negative things that this poor is being attacked by YouTube creators, if they hadn't have gone down that lane, then they would have had a very short video. They would have had, they wouldn't have had a proper, decent documentary. So, in order to build this documentary, they had to add different parts to the story. I'm saying, and I think to point the finger again at YouTubers and TikTokers who have spent hours, months, over a year dissecting every piece of information, I think is wrong to treat them in this way. I really do. And I do feel quite angry about it. And to
I
actually
can
show your
tell.
faces on there, I think is deplorable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I've had this once before, though, in the John George case. I think I was featured there along with Hayley Comet, not for very long, it was just a few seconds when in the John George case, this was a BBC Northern Ireland production. All they said was that some creators or some commenters weren't fully on board with supporting the John George family. And that was it. And there was me for a few seconds saying that I didn't have total faith in what the John George family were doing or
Hmm.
saying, and I was fine with that. But now you mention it, um, they don't ask permission for that. If I had taken someone's footage and just put it on there, they would probably come at me. They don't bother to contact anyone. And I just made a video this evening where, you know, my email is part of my channel. It's out there. You can contact me. So no one's actually contacted me and said, why did you say that? Or do you want to take that back? Or nothing at all like that. So it seems one-way traffic here. They can just pick out something you said, feature it, mention, beforehand what kind of category you're in here, and then leave it at that. And I don't know. To me, that's really bad reporting. Had they actually contacted me, um, I would have, I would have presented it in the big picture and said, here's the context. The reason I say that is because da 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 da. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a bit of a villain's game, isn't it? Let me just pick something you've said, put it in the middle of this segment, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty shoddy and it's pretty low, but I kind of expected it.
To be fair, Duncan, it's
Yeah,
all to do with the production company.
yeah,
I'm waiting for the Nicola Bully documentary to drop because I have been asked for permission from that company. So
right.
they should have asked you. And if I really think about it, and if you really think about it, you would have a good point in having a word with Candor Productions and saying you have painted me in such and such a way, and I want compensation for it
Mm-hmm.
because there
To be
are
honest, I've got
there
to be
are
honest, Jan,
companies
I've, I've
who do
got I've got
ask.
quite a long list of people I want to contact over this. Candle Productions is on there. And yeah, I intend to let them know that in future, if they intend to feature anything I've said, they do need to contact me first. I mean, that's a common courtesy. But actually, top of my list was Sarah Smith, the MP, who, you know, is wringing her hands with Debbie the other side of the table, saying, "This is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible." Well, again, Sarah Smith, I'm very, very easy to contact, as I think most of these content creators are. If you have, and this is the problem with them being the people that are picking on us, if you have anything that you can pinpoint with what I've said or done that you disagree with, contact me. Let's discuss it and then take it from there. But I think, Jan, their big fear is that with this, and I think it's why Debbie and Warren and Zach haven't contacted any of us, is because once they've done that and we go on and broadcast to the world, this is what I've heard from MP Sarah Smith. This is her big gripe. This is her beef. And this is why Jay's Law has to come into effect. Now, let me tell you all why I think this woman is a fool. They can come out of this looking really, really bad.
Yeah. I
And I don't know if
agree.
you agree with this, but one of the reasons they don't want to get into specific creators or commenters or specific quotes is because they're on very, very shaky ground. If they start debating with you, and I'm going to pick up on a point you said earlier, if they start debating with you, they soon find out that they know actually very, very little about this case. And if
Exactly.
they get into it with someone that's actually spent 15 months, 24/7 looking at the details of it, they might not come out of it looking very well.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying here? That they want to accuse people of certain things, but they don't actually want to specify what the accusation is.
Yes, absolutely. But they are in error. You know, they shouldn't have. You know, the first thing I thought when they showed both you and Wax and the others was, well, I hope they asked for your permission. That's the first thing I thought, because, as I say, I have been asked my permission to feature, if you like, some of my clips on the Nicola Bully. I can now. I said yes, go ahead, don't really care. And now I'm thinking, oh God, what did I say? You know, are they going to come out with something that is very, very negative about it? But then if they did, I would then counteract that. And I would,
Right.
you know, and I think you would
Yeah.
do the same, Duncan.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I just think the overriding thing is that we as creators are insulted constantly when, you know, we're not making things up. Oh, and what about them putting the Irish guy on?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
his name? I
Yeah.
forgot his name.
Dan O'Keefe. Well, I had a feeling that Dan O'Keefe was going to be featured because, to me, that was the most horrendous of accusations. And I mean, I do think he deserved to be mentioned. I don't know, so don't quote me on this. I don't think Dan O'Keefe has ever taken that back and said, even though that video was verified and I put it out there, that is not true. I don't think he's ever taken that back. So to a certain extent, I would say he put himself in that position where he was going to be lambasted in public. Or, I mean, I'm going to throw this back at you, Jan. Do you think even in that case, they were wrong to pick on him for saying what he, I guess, 100% believes? What do you think?
Do I think that he purposely came up or, you know, put out a video which was just so awful? It really upset me to watch his video because he was so graphic and so self-assured. Um, do I think that they contacted him? No. Um, in which case, I think he's got a right to counteract it. Whether he will or
Mm,
not, I don't know, because judging by the next video afterwards, do you remember the next video he did? And he was like, oh well, you know, I'm not taking any nonsense from anybody. He completely what do they say, buckled down. He
mm,
didn't accept that what he had done was awful. So I don't know. I mean, is he still covering Jay? I don't think he is. And
I
I
just
think,
have
to be fair, that he gave creators a very bad name.
Can I just add
Duncan,
Yeah,
something?
while I've
yeah.
got you here, can I ask you, are you on Twitter? Because somebody has given me your Twitter handle, and I want to make sure it's you.
Um, I've got a feeling when the answer is I don't know. I don't know. I never use Twitter or X. I never use it.
Okay.
I've got a feeling
Duncan.
when my first or oh, sorry, Al, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, sorry. I hope people can't hear the heavy breathing. It's the old pilot mic. If I put it away from my mouth, hopefully people can't hear. It's like a heavy breathing. It's like some sort of pervert
It's
going
all right. We don't mind a bit of
on.
heavy breathing, especially at our
Dan's
age.
used to that.
Hopefully it's okay. Um, yeah, Dan O'Brien, he actually appeared on the national press, didn't he? I'm not. I'm a bit hazy on that type of thing. I've appeared like Jan in documentaries, etc. And I know you sign an agreement, etc. Of
Hmm.
what you want out there. They can change that at will. It depends what you've signed. I'm a bit
Hmm.
hazy because I did say this at the start. I did say this at the start before that documentary came out. I wonder if people are going to be able to prosecute if you and I were on there, our faces were on there, and we were speaking, and we could
Hmm.
prosecute in some way. I'm really not sure because somebody said, "Oh, they're gonna have a lawyer. They're gonna contact this, that, and the other. They're gonna do their homework." I don't know. Another thing I'd like to go to, sorry to go back to the documentary, is Duncan. I didn't fully understand your comment you made on the documentary about the family, and when was that video made? Was that an early, middle, or later video? Because you did come into it quite late. Um, so over to you, mate. I didn't fully understand. So explain to everyone what you meant about the family, if you can.
Right. Well, I thought it was pretty clear, actually. But anyway, yeah, I'll explain it as best I can. My point was very simple, was that I don't understand why we are supposed to give 100 respect to the family for everything they say in this case. It was a very simple point that I don't understand why we can't actually disagree quite robustly with this family and challenge them and call them out when it seems quite clearly to me they're either very confused or possibly lying. That was
Hmm.
my point. I don't I've never understood this. I understand that people think that what I say is insulting and attacking and wrong, but the heart of the matter for me is there is no reason to assume everything that these people say, the family, is true, honest, correct, infallible. It's just nonsense. So I think for the accident group, they just got to get over the fact that people say things that are untruthful, that are incorrect, and they need to step back and correct that. We never, ever see this from the family. I don't think I've ever heard Debbie say that she said this and taken it back. And a good example would be the GoFundMe. Debbie said that part of the funds will go to um, paying for the search effort. It'll go to the search teams. That's nonsense. The search teams don't need any funding. They never have needed. That's all paid by the Spanish taxpayer. Now, if Debbie has a receipt saying that she donated to, well, fine, pretty, but they don't. That's not something you donate to. It's like donating to the NHS or I don't know, ambulance service. It's a national service. So I mean that's just one example, but my point was that there is no reason why any of us should 100% respect what the family are saying. That's it. That was the point. The other part of your question now was I said that back in February. February, so quite some time ago.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
I thought that
Yep.
I thought you'd have a collective view on that. I think you'd probably look back into your notes of where when because you're quite methodical. I don't think people appreciate you do say things and you do upset people, if I may say, but I don't think you mean to. But you are very methodical with what you do. You're very clever. Okay, I just want to put that forward. I hope people can hear me. I got the mic back up to my mouth. I just didn't want the heavy breathing bit, so I put it up to the mouth, and then I'll take it away when I'm heavy breathing. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I think they can. Hopefully, can you hear me? Okay, Duncan.
I can hear you fine, absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Another thing, Jan. Sorry, I just wanted to change the subject onto the documentary onto Warren. Was there anything you wanted to add to what Duncan said?
Uh, I thought it was. I thought he's a genuinely grieving father, um, and I did. You know, while I was typical, am I still here?
Yeah.
Am I still here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
You're still there.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
I didn't want to look at him and think, oh, is he hiding anything? Or, you know, does he know the truth? But the grief was very, very genuine on his face. And, you know, as a parent, I found it very, very hard to watch, you know. Yeah, it's devastating for him. The family as a whole, I think, is a different story. You know, I'm with Duncan on this. I think the family, there are members of that family that know the truth. And I don't think that Paul Warren does. That's how I'll put it.
Yep. Um, yeah, going in on to Warren, I was quite affected. I get teary quite easy, like Warren probably does as well. I don't know, but obviously he's lost his son, so he's going to be teary. But that affected me because I could see it in his eyes. That was genuine. Now, what you were saying about the family and Warren kind of being separate, they've separated, and I presume they perhaps didn't get on so much. They had to come together to search for Jay. I know Duncan's probably it doesn't affect him so much, so he's not going to feel that way as so much, but perhaps about Warren. But I certainly did, and I don't know if anyone else got affected by Warren and his emotion, regardless of what you felt, regardless of whether you think it's suspicious or an accident. It was just so. It was just so emotional. Duncan, did you feel that way at all or feel anything with Warren?
I did. I did. In Warren's case, I sense deep, deep frustration that I don't see with anyone else in the family. I mean, I'm sure they're all frustrated, but with Warren, I see deep frustration. And I can only say that there would be a chance of getting Warren to speak 100% openly, honestly, one to one in a quiet corner, in a bar where he could really let rip with everything he's ever felt from day one in this. I don't think that's possible, but it's one of those 1 in 100 chances. If anyone caught Warren in the mood, I think he's got a whole lot that he would love to unload, frustrations galore from day one, and that would be illuminating. I don't get the same feeling from Debbie or Zach. I think both Debbie and Zach have a lot in their heart that they would also like to talk about, but not the depth that Warren. I mean, I'm just looking at his face and his expression and the tone of his voice, and he's been consistently, I think, mired in frustration with, for some reason, not being able to say exactly what he wants. And that's the mystery that really perturbs me here, is what is it exactly in the background to the family, to the situation, but in particular to Warren, that prevents him just coming out and saying what he wants to say? I don't know. There's something there. I can't put my finger on it, but I just think Warren is the one that, if he was in the right place at the right time, the right moment, he would unload with a load of stuff that has bothered him in this case. Just my take.
Yeah. So where do we
I
actually go
agree
from
with you. 100%. There's just something, isn't there, Duncan? And maybe it's because it's like right from the very beginning. I think the bit that they showed of you, Duncan, was when you were saying that there were no tears. There were no tears from Debbie, and I felt exactly the same. And but even in the documentary, it was very staged. Now I know it has to be staged to a certain degree. Did she show some genuine emotion? Yeah, there were times that she did show genuine emotion. But overall, over this past year, I don't believe that Debbie has shown true emotion, not as a mother. I would be devastated if something like that had happened to one of my kids. Um, so yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Duncan. And I don't, talking to you out, I don't think Duncan comes across as being rude to people. I don't at all. I think he's very
No,
straight talking. I think he is
you're straight
methodical,
talking.
but I
You're
do
straight
not
talking.
believe that he is insulting to people. That's just my opinion.
No, that's fair enough. Sorry, I put the mic back. Yeah, that's fair enough. Everybody's different. Yeah, so I'm quite oversensitive in some things, so I can see that when Duncan's. I don't know what Mrs. Smith thinks, but yeah, I can see. Yeah, that's a brilliant. That's a different view. So yeah, and people. Duncan's got quite a big team, a growing team. He was probably the fastest growing creator. It's sort of stabilized a bit now, but he was fast growing. So they saw something in him. And I think if you see through that um, straight talking and you don't get upset by what he says, I think he does make a lot of sense. But so do a load of the other creators as well. If anyone else wants to come on, creator or viewer, just to say hi, then please do. I can put a link in the chat. Um, Duncan, so you're carrying on the case. That's fine. I'm sort of backing off a little bit. What do you see happening, or what do you want to see happening? Do you want to see perhaps somebody coming out and telling the truth? Do you think that will happen, or do you feel that the case will ever be reopened and investigated? What is your aim within the Jay Slater case? I know you're probably going to cover other cases as you did John George, but what is your actual aim at the moment? I don't mean that in a nasty way. I mean that in a business type of way. Over to you, mate.
Yeah. Um, there's no real aim. I suppose the objective is to keep as many people interested in the subject and engaged in the debate and following things as best we can. I mean, it will die a natural death if, after the documentaries, and I'm actually not sure if there is another documentary coming. We've heard Luggy and Chris mention the Spanish documentary, which I think is their documentary. Um, once that, if that's going to happen, once that's out the way, and there's no other documentary, then this will probably die a natural death unless there is some kind of new revelation, evidence, arrest, investigation. Um, so I guess I'm just hoping to keep things bubbling along with that community of diehards, if you like, that won't let go of this case until something pops up. But I don't know how. We need a stroke of luck. I don't know how that might happen. Um, Often these cases get opened up and resolved in the least likely way. I've said this before. It might be the arrest of one of the characters for a completely different reason. You know, I don't know. Maybe Ayub or Rocky going to Dubai or somewhere. They mess up. The police there open up their phones, and good God, suddenly we've got another crime to look into. So a stroke of luck, or someone just wants to tell the truth, and that can happen too. Someone gets thrown under the bus for whatever reason, and they split from the pack. We don't know how this will get resolved. I've always thought it will get resolved. I've always thought that somehow the truth will come out. But it is going on a long time now without that, that magic ingredient that tells us, here we go, this person's now going to produce the evidence. So it is frustrating, but I don't know. The aim is to keep people interested and talking about it, and just see what happens. If nothing happens over time, it will die out. There'll probably be a hardcore group chatting away for the next year or so, but we don't know. We don't know. I don't know what Jan thinks, or Al. What do you think? What will it just die out? I don't know what Jan thinks, or Al. What do you think? What?
Well,
Sorry, I just went out. I just disappeared again and went back in. Duncan, you just upset me all the time, mate. It's
uh,
because I looked at the damn chat again. I won't do that.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's just stop it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need
Jan.
to have a session. We need to have a StreamYard session. Okay. Yeah.
Is it better than? Is it better than the other night though? Is it better?
I don't know. Do you know what? I didn't watch the full of it. The
How
whole
dare
of it.
you?
I I only found out
Just.
about it today from Dunks.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's all
I
right.
I
That's fine.
didn't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm definitely up for helping you with it.
I
Now,
reckon it was. I reckon this stream was a lot better last time. There was a lot of messing about when I watched it back. And here's
yeah,
me trying to. I was trying to teach Duncan how to use the equipment, etc. And he was the professional, and he was up there all the time, and he was on. He didn't break stream or anything in the end after the first 25 minutes. So I think hopefully this one was better than last time. Put a one in the chat if it's better than last time, and it
well,
will get better. And
because
when I get the internet connected at the back here, that little wire, because somebody's coming round tomorrow to sort it out. I'm at work, but they're going to sort that out. So there we go.
StreamYard is good. I mean, I use it.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, it's excellent, and I can definitely help you.
yeah,
So no
brilliant.
worries there. Now, where were we? What were we talking about? Dunks, you were saying something about thinking that it was going
Where
to
do
die
we?
off. Do you
Yeah.
know? I do videos where I say Twitter talks. What I read on Twitter about Jay Slater, and it's very sad to see that he's not spoken about very much. And I find that really sad, because that it's such a huge story if all parts of it were allowed to be spoken about. But it seems that that's what I was going to say. It's a shame that the documentary just focused on the negatives as regards YouTube, TikTok creators, because we learn an awful lot from those platforms, especially in the true crime realm. And I've said it already, I'm sick to death of just hearing how bad they are. And yet people will watch a glossy Netflix story and think that's, everything's there. But that's not true. And there's a huge story about the drug trafficking, the drug business, if you like, between Britain and these islands. Why is somebody not doing that? I need to get on. I know a few people. I might actually see if I can get someone interested in doing something like that. What do you think, Dunks?
Yeah, I think we really, really need it, because it's going to be very unfair if the end of the media debate, if you like, is yet another documentary slamming
It's going to be very
the
unfair
so-called
if
conspiracy
the end of
theorists.
the media debate, if you like, is
And I
yet
really don't want
another.
that. Um, I don't know what you can do, Jan, but I think if we can get a decent production of the other side of the argument, and some media outfit pretty big that would show it, it would be good. We need a riposte. We just need to put our side out there, because otherwise the general public are going to go away thinking we've got no argument, and it's not right.
I almost think that we need to. I almost think that the family need to drop down the barriers, and it's going to sound really strange and weird because we're strangers. They don't know who we are, but it's almost like we've got to meet them and say hi or something and explain to them if they could understand why they're doing that. The same with the other group, the truth group or the accident group, whatever. There is. I'd prefer it if there weren't any groups. I prefer it if it was just a difference of opinion. Their argument is we were upset in the family, blah, 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 blah. But it's just breaking down that barrier would just be really nice because they know we're just normal like they are. We just have a different view on things. What do you feel, Jan or Duncan?
I think, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think the way Duncan has qualified, the separate groups makes it easier for us to, it sort of act as a collective, if you like. And we all know that there's, sometimes we need a collective of people that agree on one thing. It's just the way we are as humans, so I don't see that as an issue. What I see more of an issue is that mainstream media does not recognize that, and mainstream media will try and portray everybody everybody who talks about true crime online, if you like, is are fools. We're all fools. We're just guessing this and we're just guessing that. That is not true. I've seen so much proof of what's been going on, and we're not stupid. So, by saying that, our mainstream media is saying that everybody that watches the live, or not the live, the YouTube creators or TikTok creators to get information about crime, everybody that watches them, they must be a bit thick because they don't realise that these people are just plucking things off the trees. They're just coming out with these theories and these conspiracies. No. And if they do, they address it and then they dissect it and show all the evidence, which is something that mainstream media do not do. I mean, what are your thoughts on the autopsy footage? What are your thoughts on that? I found that very uncomfortable. It was almost like I was watching some hospital drama on TV. No, I didn't think that was necessary. Have the guy stood there, standing there and explaining the situation. Yeah, fine. But don't turn it into some sort of bloody drama. This poor boy died. And what I gained from that was that the main injury to Jay Slater was a severe knock to the head, a severe bang on the head. Head injury is what killed him. Not all the scratches and the scrapes and the dinner. It was a head injury. And it's the same. There are other kids in Lancashire that have died for the same way. So that's what we should be looking at, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll answer that first if I may, if I can. Um, yeah, the autopsy. So it's interesting, in my opinion, that Dr. Shepherd said we can't rule out a push. Maybe that was early days, but it was I can't rule out a push. So if
That
you
was a
bear that in
ridiculous thing to
mind,
say.
well, I don't know. I'm just reiterating what he said. So that was interesting, first of all. Then going back to the press saying about online creators, it was interesting that guy. Do you remember that guy who was with the press who said, "Why are they picking on me? They're tarring me with the same brush as these armchair detectives." He didn't say it like that, but he said that in a way. So he was
Mm-hmm.
getting targeted. We know what the press is like. We know what the press is like. They're flip. They go with the narratives. They're not. They don't fully care. Another point, sorry, you have to remember this, Duncan, because those 3 points you're going to talk about, if you write it down on your
Okay.
pad. Was I going mad? Was I going crazy? I didn't hear a mention of Mark Williams Thomas. And I've
Yes.
got a bit of a bee in my bonnet. And I've said, I'm over nice and I say, yeah, you're a nice guy, blah, 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 and Mark Williams Thomas, etc., etc. But didn't he get appointed, or he went to the family and he said, um, he said, I'll look for you, I'll come over, etc., etc. I think he used his own money, but it's so weird. He was such a big influence. He flipped,
Yeah.
and he wasn't mentioned in the documentary.
Yeah.
Um, I'll go over to you, Duncan. Just one moment. Just say in the chat, moderators, you've got the power, so you're doing a good job. Whatever you decide, you can control the chat how you want. Hope it's going well because I can't see it. People are going to be saying in the chat, "Shut up, we need facts. Why are you not talking about the facts?" But when somebody comes out with an autopsy and says, "Oh, you going blah blah blah, accident." Oh, but you might have been pushed. Do you know what I mean? It
Hmm.
sort of sways things. What do you want us to say? What do you want us to think?
That's very
No, sorry about
manipulative.
that. Over to you, Duncan or Jan. Thank you.
Go on, Dunks.
I'll go first if you don't mind. Well, working in reverse order here, the last thing you mentioned was Mark Williams Thomas. Yeah, very surprised, given that I believe Debbie agreed for him on her behalf to look into this case. Very surprised he was not even mentioned at all. But I have a sneaking suspicion that he was, unlike the rest of us, contacted beforehand and asked would he like to participate? And I just have a feeling he said no. That's just a feeling. I can't think of any other good reason why he wouldn't have featured in this at all, because he got a lot of stuff out there, whether it was good or bad or what have you. He was a big voice in this. So very surprised he wasn't in there. My guess is he declined to participate. Second point that you were mentioning about that reporter that was, suddenly confused and bewildered why people in the street were coming up to him and, telling him this, that, and the other, or questioning him. I think this is part of the story, and it fascinates me. He was saying that he almost looked down to the public when he was saying these people just don't understand that what I was saying was true. He doesn't get it. These reporters don't get it. We don't accept what they are saying is true. And if we had the chance to confront them one on one, why what they claim is the truth, we don't see as a truth, they might get it. But they seem to be in this little bubble, as Jan was alluding to earlier. They look down
He
on
doesn't
anyone
get it.
online, anyone in
These
social
reporters
media.
don't.
And this whole, well, we're writing the truth is, do you really think that you're writing the truth? I mean, these people are saying, he was last seen on this road. He went to this Airbnb. I don't think they've ever sat down and talked to someone that said what is given as evidence really isn't evidence. I'm sorry, but a cigarette in a hand of a guy on a step filming for a few seconds the mountains, that is not evidence that that person is Jay. And yet they kind of blindly go down this road of repeating each other, saying, well, he was seen at the Airbnb. Um, so that's my beef with reporters like that. They don't understand that we question their definition of truth. Um, and the last point that Aldon was talking about, that whole autopsy thing, yeah, I was shocked at that. I mean, personally, I don't have a big deal with someone talking about what's going on during an autopsy. But again, it's the other side, it's Debbie and Co. trying to tell us that Jay was their son. Jay was a human being who tragically lost his life. And yet in the documentary, we got Shepard rabbiting on as if this autopsy is just yet another figure on the table. Well, let's whip his liver out and see if it has the remains of some substances. It's like that, if anything, dehumanized Jay beyond belief for me. And yet again, I don't think we're going to get Debbie or Warren or Zach saying that was bloody dehumanizing, just picking out a bit of his body and saying, let's have a look at this. Yeah, I was really shocked at that. And I saw someone in the comments question, I think it was Ian Terrell in the comments, just questioned, was that really Jay on the table? Because if that was a later kind of staged autopsy, that's bloody awful. Someone pretending to do an autopsy on someone that's not even there. I mean, talk about fake narrative. So either way, if that was really Jay, that was awful dehumanization of a living person that died tragically. If it wasn't Jay, that's a kind of sick restaging of something. I didn't feel uncomfortable, but I didn't like it. I didn't feel that it had to be part of the 1 hour documentary. Sorry, Jan, I went on a long time. Back to you. What did you? How did you react when you saw that autopsy? It's gone quiet on my end, Jan. You there?
Jan, have you got? Are you there, Jan? She was cutting in and out. Might be her mobile
Yeah,
phone.
here.
Oh,
I'm
you're
here.
there. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
like you, Dunks, I was horrified by it.
Hmm.
I, I just didn't see the need for it. They didn't need to show that as, like it was some sort of, hospital drama. If I was, if that was my family, I think I would have been more upset about that than anything else that was shown on that documentary, to be honest. I thought it was awful. I thought it was, dreadfully done. And also, we know that that poor boy didn't come back in one piece. We know that. So why was that not addressed? Why was it not addressed that parts of him were kept in Spain, were kept in, Tenerife? Why was that not brought up? There was just so many things that were left unspoken about. And as
Hmm.
people who have spent a long time looking into everything, I think they've got a bloody nerve coming at us. I mean, I don't count myself as a Jay Slater uh sleuth or anything like that, but I know a lot about it, and I watch all Duncan's work. That's basically where I get most of my information from. But I have my opinions, and if I feel that something's wrong, and that's another thing, it's like the censorship now. Do they not realize that people, especially people in true crime community, are very, very careful that people are giving out the truth, are not speculating, are not guessing and speaking out on things that they know nothing about. There was somebody at the beginning, forgotten his first name, Joseph Morris, who very soon was shown or accused of being a little bit underhanded in giving out information. Listen, he doesn't talk about Jay Slater anymore. There's a reason for that. So once again, I seem to be harping on about this. My main grievance is that people that do spend a hell of a lot of time looking into these cases and delivering what they believe to be the truth should not be shat on. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that.
Hold
Yeah.
on, I think it's your turn.
Sorry. I was just looking at the chat, so it's handy. Somebody said I look like Budgie. Do you remember Adam Faith? Either of you two? I don't know where that came from. Um, just to put a bit of humour into it, I think somebody said the other day that we were like the Chuckle Brothers, me and Duncan. I thought that was quite good as well. Brilliant.
At any stage,
Yeah,
Al, if you want to call up any of the accident group, because I can
I
see
have.
Savage Shark is out there, I can see Jane Elliott
Yeah,
is out there,
yeah,
and I mean, I'm happy to step down. I'm not saying that anyone else should come and go. I'm just saying that I can see some of the opposition to me anyway. They're out there, and I'm guessing they'd
yeah.
like to have a say.
It would be great if they want Duncan to disappear. Um, honestly, or Duncan is quite happy to be there. Any of you can come up and have a chat, a say, Jane. Everybody will be treated with respect. You know that. Um, say what you feel. You can shoot us all down if you want to. Yeah. So it's. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be ending my interest in the case as such. I'll still be watching you, Duncan, and a few of the others that are carrying on. But it's just come to the end where, to me, it's unsolved. To everyone else, it's all factual and it's an accident. That's fine. But I would leave it there and have a look at other cases. But I will still be watching, and I still want to. I'll still have my view. But it's just interesting that the family were on to Ahab and Rocky. They probably knew an awful lot more because they probably looked at social media too. That was upsetting them. But some of the things, I think Warren, especially when he was talking to Wax, I think he was suspicious about similar things as well. But it does get to the point where you think, shut up, all of you, just shut up. As Warren said, I think Warren said once, give it a rest, you know? Um, understandable. But I don't know where, uh, Jan, I don't, I watch you, but you cover other cases as well, don't you? So you've got plenty to on your plate. Other cases as well, don't you? So you've got plenty to
Yeah, I
record.
do. I do cover other cases. I've also got, like, I've got Jan's views on crime uh channel as well. Um, but I wanted to ask Duncan, what actually stood out for you um about the documentary? What sort of, was there anything that really sort of riled you up, or were you disappointed in how it went? And what actually stood out to you?
Okay. Let me tell you something that absolutely delighted me beyond belief. And that was yet again, there was not one single mention of the two heroes that actually found Jay Slater. Now, the title of the documentary was The Disappearance of Jay Slater. You would have thought maybe in the last 10 minutes or so of the documentary, they would have mentioned the two people that actually found Jay Slater. But yet again, the names of Ivor Lovelace and Christopher Pennington, conspicuous by their absence, never made it, like Mark Williams Thomas, into this 1 hour. And that delighted me because it does seem that whenever we get any kind of mainstream media or official description of what happened to Jay Slater and how he was found, these two characters are just simply never mentioned. Once again, Warren, Zach, Debbie, not one of them said a single word about the discovery of Jay's body. They never, of course, said thank you or gave any gratitude to the two heroes that managed to do that. And that absolutely delighted me. And I just put out a video this evening saying, I now think I understand why there has to be a Spanish documentary featuring Christopher Pennington and Ivor Lovelace, simply because that is the only way they are going to get their names out there on record as having done anything. But it seems to me the vast majority of people now realize they didn't do anything. They certainly didn't do what they said they do. And that's why they never, ever get mentioned by anyone as having been part of the discovery and recovery of Jay Slater. That absolutely delighted me. Sorry, I've rabbited on a bit about that because, there was a lot I didn't like about the documentary, but I loved that part of it. Um, on the other hand, I mean, we've already gone through this. The bit that disappointed me was that even though the finger of blame is pointed at the creators and social media and online sleuths and all this, you never ever get someone picking out one detail and saying this person said this and it must be wrong because they never do that. And it's like my big gripe with the accident group. They will insult, they will say you're dumb, they will say you're stupid, they will say you got it wrong, but you pick an individual point and say, tell me where my thinking must be wrong here. And they never, ever do it. They run from the details, they run from the specifics, they run from the logical thought that goes behind what we believe to be true, because they have no argument. Their argument has been reduced to, you are insulting, you are rude, you are wrong, you are dumb, you are stupid, you are nasty. But on a point of argument, if you say, explain your logic why you believe Jay must have left that main road and gone into the wilderness, explain why you know that, they will not ever explain why they think that or know it. And that was the same with this documentary. It was never picked up on a very crucial point of how Jay ended up there. Never, ever talked about. That, as you can tell, drives me nuts.
Mm, I agree with you totally. It's
Yeah.
very frustrating. You know what I would have liked, or what I would like to happen, is one of the really, really big true crime creators, such as Bailey Sarian, or that chapter, or somebody with a couple of million followers, to actually do a real deep dive documentary type video on Jay Slater. I'd love that, because they're no fools, and they've actually got people that work for them, like you do, Dunks. I know you have people helping you. But I would love to see some of these really huge YouTubers doing a deep dive into this case.
Yeah, definitely. What about Joseph Morris? He had about 600 odd thousand. He was actually done in court or something for creating some audio, but I found him quite informative. He was a bit kind of aggressive, etc., and he picked up on things on what other creators said. But I don't know how you felt about him.
I liked
Also,
it.
yeah,
I liked him, and then I saw, people saying that he was a bit sort of shady and he'd made a few things up about the case. And I thought, oh no, I can't be doing with that. If I'm watching true crime, I like to feel that I can believe what the person, what the creator is putting out there. And so I sort of didn't bother too much with him after that. I don't know about you, Dunks. What did you feel about Joseph Morris?
Um, yeah, I was surprised when he disappeared. Chris Pennington said that Joseph Morris disappeared because one big shot that Chris Pennington has worked for, one of his American investors, was such a big name or a big influence over in North America that Joseph Morris got wind of this and just gave up the case. Now, that's what Chris Pennington has said. You wouldn't have heard Chris Pennington say that because it was in a voice message, which I was forwarded. So you just got to take it from me or disbelieve it. But anyway, that was his explanation. I think it's total bollocks. I think Joseph Morris, for whatever reason, realized that, a bit like what Aldon has just said, in the end, this isn't going anywhere for him. I don't know a lot about Joseph Morris. I was impressed with a lot of what he, found out and produced. I thought he was very good,
Yeah.
but I just think maybe he was early doors, one of those that realized that it's not going to get resolved and he's got bigger fish to fry or something. But I actually don't know that. I don't know much about him. I know he's very big,
Yeah,
but
he He's
is he
also
on?
big on Twitter. I see a lot of him on Twitter. I want to read something in the comment section. This is a live stream, so it would be quite nice to react to some of the things that are being said. This comment by Duncan, not another one. They went after Joseph Morris when he was going over the boat and beach videos. Oh, okay. So oh, okay. I don't understand that, because I think there's something in that story. I really do. I truthfully believe that Jay was left um from coming off of a boat and then put in that ravine. I don't think he came down the top. That's what I think.
yeah, that's interesting. That might spark off perhaps Chris or somebody to come up. Jane doesn't want to come up, and I'm respectful of that. She doesn't want to come up in the box. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, the
It's just
boat.
like
I've
we're,
already
we're
said.
normal human beings. We won't bite your heads off. We're nice people.
Yeah, sure. I've already said about the boat. A bit far fetched. Some of it could happen. Again, no evidence, etc.
Why do you
The
think it's
beach
far
video.
fetched?
I just think that there wasn't enough evidence as such.
So
There was
what
just
about the
talk about
evidence of the? What
the
about
Maruba.
the? Okay, what about the footage? I'm going to start asking you questions now. Come on, Dunks, jump in with me. Um,
Yeah,
what about the footage of the fight on the beach? Do
I
you
thought
think
it
that
was.
was
I
okay?
I thought it was too hazy. I couldn't make it out. My eyesight's okay. I couldn't make anything out. It was just. Do you know what I mean? It
Uh,
was. It was any of the beach videos. The first one that was said to be a fake with JJJ business. Uh, I couldn't see anything. There was audio, but
it's hard,
you
isn't it?
know, any.
Especially in this
It's a
day
popular
of
name, isn't it?
what Jay?
It's a popular. Yeah, JJJ. It's a popular name.
Oh, no. Dunks, what do you think? Did he come off the boat or did he go down from the top?
I'm kind of close to Al on this one. It's going to take a lot more clearer video or sound recording to make me think the boat was involved or something happened on that beach. I mean, I'm very much on the fence. If someone could convince me, I'd be happy to believe it. I think Chris Pennington said it was all fake, which made me think then it's probably not. There's probably something to it. Um, but yeah, the footage isn't great, and I'm a little bit suspicious whenever someone has to actually put the subtitles, the words like "this is what you must believe you hear here," and it's like, well, maybe that's what they say, and maybe not. Um, the
Uh,
one thing I didn't like about one of the content creators, when it was harsh, I'll name him, it was harsh when he was going strong, he started to call people that believed in the Maruba theory stupid.
mm,
And I was like, no, you can't say that because we don't know. We simply just don't know. I remember Tales of Life. I don't know what happened to him, but I remember Tales of Life saying he thought there was a good chance that Jay was put on the Maruba and that his body was there rotting away out at sea somewhere. And when they needed to find a body, it was brought back. That was Tales of Life before, he chatted with Chris Pennington and changed his views completely. But, luckily Jay's law wasn't in effect there. Otherwise, Tales of Life would be behind bars. But yeah, he was the one that said the Maruba could be true. Um, I don't know, Jan. I'm going to have to say I'm with Aldon on this. I'm very, very lukewarm on it. I'm on the fence. It doesn't, for me, Jan, the boat thing doesn't fit very well into everything else I think is more likely. Does that make sense? I'm very much
yeah.
land based on this.
So, do
Don't
you
know.
think Jay actually was at the Airbnb? Do you believe that? Do you think he got there?
I do. I do. I mean, not for very long. I just have a feeling that I've got to think now who it was. It might have been Haley Comet way back when had a video where she thought that the car lights coming round back behind that Airbnb at 7 in the morning was yet another vehicle pulling up.
Yeah.
And in that timeline, I kind of thought, yeah, it could well be that Jay arrives at the Airbnb. Whatever happens, happens. Remember those early reports of a very loud disturbance, and that could have been a fight, that could have been a massive argument. And I do think it's quite possible that some of the bad guys, the actual
Uh,
gunmen, if you like, the actual people that are in charge of taking someone's life, maybe they pulled up, got him in the car, and that was the end of it. The thing that I have a problem with, and I think I said this in the last live, I have a problem with there being absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Jay leaves there and walks up the hill. I keep coming back to the fact that these dogs that are on a fresh scent, I mean, some fool said in the last live the fresh scent lasts 2 hours. Oh, come on. You know, if a fresh scent lasts 2 hours, then hardly any dog crew is going to go out there and find anything. It doesn't. That scent lasts quite a long time. No dogs ever went from the Airbnb and pulled their handlers up that hill saying he went up here. And
Yeah,
that made me think that he didn't go up there. But I do have a feeling that he went very briefly there, was dealt with in some way. And when Ayub said he came alive and left alive, I took that to mean he left alive, but barely, you know,
yeah.
um, and was taken to God knows where. That's just my gut feeling, but I don't know. Happy to be proven wrong. What do you think, Jan? Are you one of those that says he never ever went to the Airbnb?
I do think like that, I think, yeah. I think
Mm-hmm.
he never actually went. I think it was all a red herring to say that he went there. I don't think he actually got in the car and went up there. Um, and I think, I remember you doing a video, Duncan, about the missing half an hour, is it, or the missing hour and a half, or
Mm-hmm.
and if you think about it, I mean, just looking at the timeline, it's obvious to me. Well, okay, it seems obvious to me that this story was concocted in a very hurried fashion, even though they had an hour and a half in which to discuss it. Um, I think Masker's a red herring. I really do, and I don't believe he met his end by going over the top. I just don't. That's just, what I think. I wouldn't state it as fact. I mean, we're all sort of giving our opinions and we
Yeah,
should
we're all
absolutely,
guessing. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so, yeah, I just think, and it's like it dunks. Can you remember like the videos I've started making shorts of some of the interviews that Ayub did. I mean, that guy is so slippery. Who is anyone? How is anyone going to believe anything he said? And I mean, he's a prime example. If you're into, recognizing or using body language things, actions, then I mean, my God, those interviews that he did with Cullen. I mean, for goodness sake. And that's why I can't believe the police, the British police, haven't got them in to have a word with them to find out exactly what did happen. I'm hoping that's going to happen.
Yeah, we chatted about
Yeah.
this earlier. Sorry, Aldon, you go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, I keep banging on and on about the UK police investigation that never was, checking all
Hmm.
the phone data, etc.
Hmm.
Yeah. Don't want to slag Ayab off. If he does appear, then great. Then come on and you can talk again like you were before Ayab. That's fine. Anyone, anybody, any witnesses, anybody can come up and have a chat. Duncan even agrees with some of the things Chris does. Chris said. So, and I agree as well. Even Lucky. So we don't disagree with everything they said about the boats, etc. Just going back to whether I think that Jay was at the Airbnb or not, I've got no evidence, but I look on at both sides. I think if he was there, this, that, and the other, and then I think, if he wasn't there, this, that, and the other. So I cover both grounds. So I cover both areas. But I don't really know. There is a big there is a big situation here where was he there the day before? Who was there the day before, etc., etc. When when you ran off with the rugs and the ketamine, etc., and you went out the car for a PB, and Ahab said he's run off with the cat or whatever he come out with, he's got the cat or he's off his head on the cat. We It would be so nice, even if Ahab yourself. I know we're calling you slippery. There is a bit of tongue in cheek as well in that. But if you could come up or go on anyone else's live and just explain all that and explain what happened without the contradictions, because you did lie, mate. You did lie, and you were covering up. And you even said you wouldn't squeal on anyone else. So perhaps that's a reason. So we can accept what you say. If you just come out with the truth, and we'll accept it, and then we'll talk to you about it in a civil way, etc. Just going back briefly, sorry. Um, the chat. I am able to put it on the stage now about the chat. Anita Powers made a good point about Warren saying about the lie detectors, and also as I just want to ask Jan first of all, do you think, do you have suspicions that the body was planted then? If you don't think he was there, was it planted at the bottom of the ravine, or was it there at all? Over to you.
I personally think that it was planted. I don't think that poor boy's body lay there for 28 days. No, I think I think it was planted after the event. Maybe it was kept on the boat. Maybe it was driven up to the Airbnb. I don't know. I mean, did the cadaver dogs actually go inside the Airbnb? You know, the dogs that can smell.
No, no,
Why?
apparently not. Anyone in the chat know this as well, but I don't think they did. I don't think they went. They're the Dutch dogs, aren't they? So they were different than um,
Were they cadaver
Guardia
dogs?
dogs. Yeah, they were different than the Guardia dogs. I know about Rosie. I don't know about these sort of things. There was a woman. She's a creator, and she knows a lot about the dog situation, about cadaver dogs, etc. So that's what I'm led to believe. Duncan, do you know they didn't search the Airbnb, did they?
I know the Dutch group dogs are both, because on their website they make that perfectly clear that their dogs are both cadaver dogs and sniffer dogs. The Dutch never went into the Airbnb. They went first of all to where the phone last pinged. Then they took the dogs to the Airbnb, but not inside it, is what I was told. So they never went inside. I don't think anyone I don't think anyone or any dog went inside the Airbnb until day 16, which was the forensic team that popped in there for 2 hours and probably just chatted with Ophelia for 2 hours and came out again. So, and I think that's one of the reasons why we don't have any single photo of the inside of that Airbnb from the moment Ayub and Rocky checked in there. So, yeah, again, conspicuous by its absence. I don't think any dog or any investigator or any person working on what happened to Jay Slater. I mean, it's unbelievable, I know, but this is where we are. Went inside that Airbnb. It's just unbelievable.
So it was never classed as a crime scene, even though
Exactly.
they were meant to be looking for, you know, a young teenage lad, because that's what he was. Okay, he was 19, but he was still a young lad. So they didn't sort of cut any area off as a crime scene.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
just add to that? Chris, if you're in the chat, is Savage Shark still in the chat? Can he answer? Because he's over there. Did they check? It's not a loaded question. Did they check the Airbnb? And I gather forensics would have gone into the Airbnb. Simple question. And also, Jan and Duncan, who were the people that were seen? The decorators were seen. Is this true? Were decorators seen or forensics seen coming out of the Airbnb? And what was that all about? And were there little blood specks on the step?
I think that story came out very early on in the case, where, you know, when there was a debate over whether or not there was a doorbell or not. Um, so yeah, I think I remember hearing something about that and hearing about some blood splatter on the steps. What about you, Dunks?
Yeah. It came out early on, but I think it was more rumor or anything. I don't think anyone actually witnessed Ophelia or anyone painting those steps. It could be, but I don't know. Can't really put too much faith in that one. That van that pulled up there, it said fumigation fumigation on the van, but it also had a load of other stuff underneath it, and it was kind of more like garden or yard work, that kind of um, service. So I wouldn't jump on the fact that a van pulls up and it's got fumigation on it. That could well be outside door, outdoors work.
Mhm.
Don't know that. I don't think so. I don't think anyone actually went in there. Or we got the rental car situation. That, as far as I know, that was never checked. As Aldon says, it was never. This was never an investigation. All those people that say, they've investigated it and it's closed. No one, to my mind, no one ever actually investigated anything. And you can tell that when it's day 16 and they decide to send someone in to do a forensic search of the Airbnb. Um, it's too late. That shows you there was no proper investigation.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know, Jan, about the whole doorstep thing. Whether there was bloodstains there, don't know. It's not, to me. It's not that. It's not that important. The important thing is that nothing was done to ascertain Jay's presence there
exactly.
at all. So
Exactly.
we don't know.
So there is no proof other than what Ophelia said. That's the only proof. It's it
Exactly.
just seems it just seems insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, Warren was very suspicious, wasn't he, when he said Ophelia moved all the furniture back in and wouldn't speak to them. Um, so yeah, Warren was on the team, so to speak, on the foul play team, wasn't he, for quite a while.
I
Um,
think probably still is. I really do. I think he probably is, but for whatever reason, maybe he's just utterly exhausted by it all.
yeah,
And that's why he's going along with with these findings and the documentary. But that man is broken, and in a different way to Debbie. That's all
yeah,
I'll say. And I'm a mother, and
yeah.
yeah, it's
And
just
going
very odd.
and going back to MWT, why didn't they mention him on the documentary? Over to you, Duncan. Or have you answered that one already? Sorry.
Well, I threw out the possibility that he was asked and refused to be a part of it for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh,
I just get the impression that Mark Williams Thomas has washed his hands totally of the whole story and moved on to the next money spinning venture. Maybe Mark Williams Thomas got wind of the fact that he could be, classified as one of those that's put out a load of misinformation. I don't know. I can't think of any reason why he would be left out of this, apart from him saying he didn't want to be a part of it. But I just don't know. I just don't know.
I think it's quite telling. Maybe we should look at it that it's quite telling that this huge documentary that he was going to be doing, I think he was hoping to get like a Netflix thing out of it, actually turned into nothing more than a podcast. I
Right, right,
think that
right. Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
something to do with it. And that could have been coming from the family. Do you remember there was a bit of a set to between Debbie and Warren? No, sorry, Debbie and MWT. And she was saying, oh, how did it go? She was saying to him to come out with the truth, or was it the other way around? I know there was some sort of disagreement between the two. And after that, all of a sudden, we're not getting a Netflix from MWT, we're just getting a podcast. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think Mark Williams Thomas might have been, let's just say, economical with the truth on that, because he was saying, I have this very special, private, reserved information on the case that I will subsequently, in the fullness of time, be releasing. His usual, I have a secret and I'm only going to reveal it later on. And
Mhm.
that's when Debbie said, apparently in the press, you look, mate, if you've got something to say it, just say it, stop playing games here. And then Mark Williams Thomas went through this whole charade of saying, Oh no, Debbie and I are still the best of friends. I talk to her every day. There's been no great argument, blah blah blah. I don't believe him. Um, I think that he got a right telling off from Debbie. I think she poured her heart out there when she said to the press that she's fed up of this dancing around and I've got a secret and I'll tell you all later on. Good for her on that one, because who the hell does he think he is saying I know something? I'm not going to tell you till later on. You know, again, someone has died here. This isn't a game of charades. So my take on that, Jan, was that they did have a big falling out, and
Yeah.
quite possibly Debbie wants nothing to do with him. From that point on, I don't think there's been. I don't know. I don't think there's been much from Mark Williams Thomas since then.
No. And I think I can understand that. If you can imagine that's your family and you've got this dude that's going around saying that he knows everything and he's best friends with you, you're chatting to him about everything. So he's going to be making, all this money, putting out, he's got in touch with Netflix and all the rest of it. You'd be like, who the hell are you? What are you doing, man? And yeah, I'm glad actually that he wasn't included in the documentary. And I hope he does feel that he's had his knuckles wrapped, because I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
Juggler there raises a good point. Okay, he doesn't agree with us, obviously, because it's Juggler. Hi, Juggler. Hope you're well. So he's saying, and I'll put on a bit of an act. So we don't need to prove anything. The facts are out there, and you just twist them and ask us to fit your narrative. Duncan and Jan, Aldon. Over to you guys.
Go on, Dance.
All right. I'd love to go first on this, Juggler. We don't need to prove anything. The facts are out there. Yeah. You just twist them. Okay, Juggler, go ahead. Tell me how I am twisting this fact, Juggler. DCI Higson said that Jay's phone cut off at 8:51 a.m. From that moment on, it is a dead phone, and it cut off just off the main road on that wide track. Now then, that, as far as I'm concerned, is a fact. Once that phone is cut off, no one knows which direction Jay goes. We have no idea whether it goes towards the sea, towards Buena Vista, towards the path, up to the ridge, or back towards Masca. No one knows. Go ahead, Juggler. I've just stated what I believe is a fact. Where have I twisted it? And you tell me where I've gone wrong.
Yeah, that's a very good. And
Aldon, is there any way we can bring Juggler up to actually vocally now tell me where what I have said, what I consider as a fact, can he or she be pulled up and vocally say where I'm twisting anything there?
yeah,
Yeah, we've already said it
Where
before,
are you,
Juggler.
Juggler?
Juggler, you can come up. I've got
Come
an
on, step
idea
up,
who it
Juggler.
might be. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm not idea that it might be. Again, we're all
Come on, Juggler. Are you going to
respectful.
hide, Juggler? Come on, Juggler. Stop
put
hiding. Get up there and vocally tell me where I have twisted a fact there.
put a link in the
It
chat
is.
again now.
I'll put a link in the chat. Also, you can answer in the chat if you want to, but it's just so much easier. It cuts out an awful lot if you just talk. Just talk. It's called a debate. If you can have a debate, that'd be great. But I'll do that. Just bear with me.
I think one of the
Carry on.
things
Sorry,
that
just bear with me.
I think, yeah, if you put the link in the chat and then anyone can just click on it and come up. I think one of the things that really has shocked me, and this was months and months ago, were the people that were making very personal attacks against the creators. I don't think I've ever seen that in other communities. And I've been in I say I've been in the true crime community. I've watched thousands of true crime videos and I've been in live streams with them and everything. And I have never seen such vitriol towards creators as I see in this Jay Slater forum, whatever you want to call it. I just found that really, really shocking, to be honest.
Yep, Aldon.
Yeah, sorry, I'm playing with the chat, so it's in the chat now. If anyone wants to come up and say anything, but especially anyone like Juggler or Juggler, if you want to come up, I'm not seeing what the harm is. We know how you feel.
Yeah, I
Try
mean,
and,
I presume,
from
Aldon,
my
I
point of
presume
view,
these
we're all
people
we're all
want to
separate.
argue.
I just
We're all
don't
separate. We're all separate. We've all got different ideas. Jan's separate to me. You're separate. So come up and perhaps convince me. Just convince me about what we should do, how we should feel, and just talk about some of the facts.
Yeah, come on, Jane. Come on, Juggler. Come on, Savage Shark. Stop hiding behind your keyboards. Just vocally express what is bloody obvious, and that was it must have been an accident. Let's see you. Come on.
I think it would be nice for
No,
somebody who has, a lot to say to come up. I mean, let's be honest, that's the only reason we're up here, Dunks. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I was dearly hoping that someone would just have the courage, the cojones to come up here and tell us where we're all going wrong. But all of a sudden, we had Jane Elliott starting off with, I want to get in the box. And then all of a sudden, no, I'm happy just to comment in writing. Where are these people? Juggler's got it up there that we take facts and twist them. I've just stated what I see as a fact. Where is Juggler to put his point of view vocally out there? Where's he gone?
And why are they coming so hard at the creators? It's like, we're not attacking anybody. We're just talking about what we perceive to be the facts in this case.
Exactly. And then when you actually explain why you see something as a fact or why you don't consider it a fact, they start hiding. Here we have Jane. Just look at the hate towards me in the comments. Then get out of the comments, Jane. If you don't like the hate in the comments, get out of the comments, get in the box, start talking, and we will happily listen to you.
Jane, I've not seen any hatred towards you at all. Honestly, do you think we're just going to verbally attack you? We're not that type of people. If you truly believe what you're saying or what you believe is true, then come and tell us. There's nothing wrong in doing that.
Okay, Jane is saying you aren't attacking Jan, and neither is Aldon. I've already said I'm happy to step out of this just to let Jane go into the box and explain how these facts are being twisted in some way. So, Jane, are you up with that? If I get out of the box, you take my place, you chat to Aldon and Jan and explain your position. That's fine by me. Actually, Al, I'm not going to be around for too much longer. Got to get up early tomorrow, and I'm an hour ahead of UK. So um, that's another good reason why Jane or
Yes,
Savage or Juggler should
yeah,
jump
sure.
in there.
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem. We've done an hour and 15 minutes, but
Jane, is
yeah,
that so? Jane has said you won't jam, but he will. He attacked my family and doxed out where I live. I find that hard to believe. I've watched Duncan for a long, long time, and I trust and believe everything that he puts out there. That's all I'm going to say.
I've already said my piece on Duncan is a bit harsher than I would be. Don't fully agree as such. We do have our disagreements, so I don't agree with everything he says, as he doesn't agree with everything I say. So, yeah, it is incurable the things that each of them have done. But it was just like to set down the weapons and then just talk about it and debate. That's all I was looking at. But They can do that with
Well,
family, kids,
I do
whatnot,
see Thomas
but they don't
Wilson
have
has
to.
joined the conversation here. Thomas Wilson is someone that might be brave enough to actually speak and say something on this matter. Jane is whining about having been doxxed. She was never doxxed. If you actually Google Jane Elliott and Glasgow or wherever she lives, you can see that actually there's a magazine article that Jane approved of. She put the name Drum Chapel, which is the part of Glasgow where she lives. It's in the magazine. And I said to everyone, that's it. She's from Drum Chapel. Never doxed at all. Dox, by the way, has to include some kind of malicious intent. There's no malicious intent there. We're just saying that Jane, who, by the way, is not a particularly nice character to other people, is from Drum Chapel, as per the magazine where she says she's from Drum Chapel. Now, if that is doxing, Jane, get a little bit more of a thicker skin. It isn't. You're just trying to be a victim here. Now, I'm ready, Jane, to step back, get out of the box, and let you and Al talk. Will you do that? Yes or no? The silence is deafening.
Is that true? Somebody has said that Juggler is Rachel Hargreaves. I'd love her to come. You may see a different side to Jan if Rachel Hargreaves comes up.
This is the problem,
Yeah, if
Jan, that a
Rachel
lot of
wants
these
to come up,
people
that's
are
fine.
someone else.
Anybody,
Yeah, this is the
anybody.
problem here.
I've already said that I've already said that me and Duncan don't agree. I suspect if Duncan said anything about my mum, I'd probably give him a little dry slap. He'd probably grab hold of me and be wrestling on the floor, two old men. But do you know, I don't feel the same way as perhaps as maybe Jan does or Duncan does. I do feel it's going a bit too far, all this to and fro and bringing the families into it. Um, so
I,
don't think we're all of the same view. But Duncan doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. I've got a different view than he does. So yeah,
yeah,
it's yeah. Come
we're
on
all
board,
different.
Rachel, whoever you are.
Yeah, I mean we're all different, and I don't want you to think that oh my God, Jan's just a simp for dunks. No, I'm not, but I do recognise when somebody has done a hell of a lot of work, has spent hours and hours in finding, trying to get nearer the truth. I'm more likely to admire that, to appreciate that, than somebody like, I mean, that's one thing I did find with Joseph Morris. He was very sort of all bells and whistles and all the rest of it. I don't want all that. If I'm listening to what may have happened in a crime or, crime investigation, I want it straight. And nobody gives it straighter than Duncan or Wax. And also Mama Beth and Mama D. I'll put her in there. And that's why they're the three people that I watch. So I will defend him. Duncan may do things sometimes in his comment section, not his comment section, the thingy. And I'm like, oh, Dunks, what you doing there? And but that's up to him. It's his channel. If he wants to say something, he has every right to say it. But here,
Yeah, actually, Jan, what you just said there is what a lot of people say. Mrs. Smith will say the same thing. I don't actually have much of a filter on me. If it pops into my head, it then pops out of my mouth. Or you're right. If I write a comment, I can be very, very direct. Let's say it can be something that sounds nasty. The only thing I can do defending myself here is when it's thrown back at me, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me. But Aldon has made this point in the last live. Aldon's point was we all have different levels of sensitivity. So it's all very well me saying, well, throw it back at me. It doesn't really bother me. But it does bother a lot of people. It does bother a lot of people. They don't like that level of conversation.
yeah,
I try to be better on a live like this. Obviously, if I do a video and you're the same, Jan, you feel that's your video, you can say whatever you want.
yeah,
Um, but you're right. If I start writing comments to people, if they've commented something not great about me, I do fire back times 10, and it reads very badly. I know that. But hey, like Aldon said, we're all different, and you don't have to listen to anything.
Yeah. And I'm the same. I'm not all sweetness and light. Trust and believe. But I try
Yeah,
not to I don't know. It's hard if you truly feel as if you've got something important to share. Your delivery is not going to be the same as the person next to you, and people just have to accept that. And if it's too harsh, then they don't have to click on your video. They don't have to click on your channel. That's the way I
right.
so is anyone going to come up? I'd definitely be interested in debating somebody who believes that it was an accident. Yeah, I'm definitely up for that.
Lisa, you say that juggler is Mark. I don't know who Mark is. Not the Mark, I guess.
Not MWT, surely.
No, I don't believe that. It's not his style of talk. Maybe it is. Don't know. Yeah. If anyone else has got anything to add to it, if anyone wants to come up, probably going to end the stream pretty soon. But now is an ideal opportunity.
Yeah. If no one else is going to come up, Al, I'd like to raise one point that came out of the documentary that was mentioned and then dropped, and I think it's really significant. But I'm going to hold back from saying anything because I'd rather someone else jump in, as as we haven't heard from a major dissenting voice from the accident group. They're out there, but they just don't want to say anything.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll put the link in the comments again. See if anyone
So
wants to.
somebody here has put Green Gaming has said, Brad, all tearful, saying I'm not going back to the UK until Jay's found, but never went to search in all that time. Yeah, yeah, I agree. There's so many questions.
Yeah.
There's no need to ask.
I think Brad searched one time because I saw him in the blue sitting on the curb. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
I don't know about the others. Rachel did, and obviously Warren did together.
Was he searching? Was Brad actively searching then? But no.
We don't know. Um, if
Oh, okay. Someone says he was on a video with what searching. Okay.
Yep, so
Yeah,
there's our answer really. But yeah, you have to be quite hardened. But yeah, if you cared a lot, you would just get out there anyway, wouldn't you?
yeah. Dunks, what did you think about the bit with Warren going into the garage and taking out the bag that with all Jay's clothing that he was supposed to have been wearing on that night?
Um, well, first of all, I think we were all shocked at the clothing. I
Mm.
mean, the shirt was brought out, and got to be honest, it looked a lot more pristine and intact and in shape than half the shirts I wear. And I was like, you can't be serious. That cannot be the shirt that tumbled down volcanic rock, boom, 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 and then was all you know, perfectly intact. That can't be right. And that made me think maybe that was what Warren was trying to say without saying it. Like, here's the shirt he wore. Can you believe it? Um, and of
Mm.
course, everyone has spotted that the white trainers with black trim, not black trainers, but they look mostly white with black trim. He was saying, and those were the shoes that he wore. Well, I haven't had a chance to go back and look at the video where the person with the blanket, if it's Jay, has those shoes, but it doesn't look like it. I seem to remember they were all black, and then we have the black and white thing. So I don't know if Warren was saying, here is what he was wearing, but obviously it wasn't what he was wearing, or if Warren truly believes that's what he was wearing. I don't know. What was your take, Jan? That Warren
Yeah,
was trying to send a message, or he really thinks that's what Jay was wearing?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds awful to say, but it was almost like, it was, I don't know, staged. It was almost like someone had said to him, "Do you know what would be a good idea? If you take
Hmm.
bags that were sent, with his clothing in." Well, those of us that have that have studied everything about this case know for a fact that he wasn't wearing those clothes. Those clothes looked as if they were the ones. Do you remember when he was in the clip where he's walking down the street with Brad? And he was in a
Yeah.
light coloured top then, wasn't he? And I think he may have had those trainers on then. Do you remember that? And they did
Not clearly. No, no. To
show.
me, he seems to be wearing the same shirt all the time. I can't really distinguish his shirts. I can't remember. And the shoes, I'm not good on that. I just remember the shoes at the Airbnb look black, and the shoes that Warren showed us look white with black trim. That's all I can. But your memory is probably better than mine at this. You're pretty sure that the clothes were like completely different from what we've seen before.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have
Okay.
recognised being the clothes. In fact,
Hmm.
I think I've seen those white trainers. Right. So Fiona says yes, Jan. 11:11 covered that. Yeah, it's a shame. Did anyone notify 11:11 about the live? Because I think it would be great for her to come up as well.
It was quite short notice again with the internet problem, etc. So, but it's fine. We can do it all again on any platform on your own
Yeah,
platform, Jan. And it would be great if you and 1111 can get together.
yeah. So
That would be brilliant.
Kathleen said Wax has a video of the trainers with Brad walking and Jay had white top on. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, Kathleen. And they did show the clip. It's a very short clip um, on the documentary last night. Yeah, Judith says, wasn't Brad wearing black trainers? I think Wax covered that. Right, okay, so Juggler has put, your biggest problem is if you personally don't see it, it never happened. He was also a 19-year-old lad who had lost his friend. Okay, who wants to unpack that statement? I need to go and get myself a drink.
Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, I'm the sympathetic type, so I have sympathy for Brad and Rachel. Really, I know they get attacked as such for not talking, and then when they do talk, they get attacked as well. So, an understanding from me. Not everybody thinks in the same way. It was his friend, and he probably had an awful lot of hurt within inside him. But it's like Duncan. Some people show that in a different way. So some people don't cry at funerals. I do. So it's different. But there is full sympathy there, and we tend to get carried away sometimes when we do get together. But the only people that can talk about it and ask um, and answer the questions is those people themselves. And their argument would be, who the F are you lot? F off, don't need to answer anything. And I understand that. Just highlighted a bit of chat from Patricia Teisel. So Debbie said there was, this is going back, I can't keep up the chat, but it's on the, can you see that, Duncan? Can you see that question just underneath you? Um, Debbie said that there was still parts that needed to be repatriated of Jay. Did that ever happen? I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know. What about
yeah,
you?
I don't remember hearing that happened. I do remember hearing that there were some body parts that did not get repatriated. And I don't remember hearing that they ever were. I guess they must have been at some point, but I don't remember hearing that. But again, that seems to be typical of the lack of information we have in this case. Spanish authorities don't seem to communicate anything. But again, I'm going to point my finger at the family here. You would have thought, had that second repatriation happened, that they would have told the world. I don't think they did. Um, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe those body parts were sent back, and I missed the announcement. But I don't think we ever heard.
Did they? I don't think they actually brought it up either, did they? On the documentary about the repatriation, which I found a bit strange. I remember sort of thinking, "Oh, we're not going to say, you know, not all of him came home," for want of a better way of saying it. But yeah, because that is, yeah, that's significant, I think. And why was that not spoken about? Especially when they showed the footage of the supposed autopsy. I just thought that was a bit weird. So you read in the chat. So Hallie has put, I don't think Brad was in, he knows. Defo some people involved in this and silent people. Yeah, and I think that's another thing. Oh no, we've got a little fluffy friend. Hello.
She wants to come on.
She's
She wants to talk to some of the witnesses. She doesn't bite.
what's her name?
Rosie.
Hello.
Everyone knows Rosie. Rosie's the star.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I've forgotten now what I was saying, so it probably wasn't that important. Um,
No, you were talking, Jan, about the body parts, and now I think back, I'm not sure. It's a gruesome subject, but I'm not sure we were ever told what body parts were retained in Spain. Maybe we were. I had assumed it were organs like the liver
yeah,
that had to go some, um, separate examination. But lo and behold, in the autopsy, there we have Shepherd mentioning the liver. So unless I missed something, we were never told which body parts were retained. We were never told if and when they were forwarded. So to this day, I don't think we know exactly what body parts Shepherd was working with. I don't know. Again, it's all. I don't know why this should be a mystery, but it seems to be.
yeah, I know, and that's just
Oh, Duncan. Sorry.
I can't concentrate with that.
Duncan. 14 days has put something on the. Can you see the chat? Is it a swear word? I don't know. It's foreign, I think. Any idea?
It's not a language I recognize at all. I have no idea what that is.
Damn. It's dog talk. What does it say? It says, "F off you." Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear on
I,
live. F off you
I was
a-holes.
I was about to say that could be Sluggy writing Welsh, but it's not Welsh. It looks maybe it's Finnish or something. Hungarian. I don't know what it is, but who knows?
So how do we think that what's his name, Ayub and Rocky are feeling? If I were them, I'd be a bit nervous, but I can't get in their headspace. We're just so different, completely different human beings. How do you think, Dunks, they're feeling after
I
the?
mean, I mean, again, just guessing because you can't get into the heart, soul, and mind of another person. But I would guess that they are feeling very frustrated that this case just keeps dragging on and on and on, because surely they would have wished everyone would have forgotten about it. Now, that said, they were two of the perpetrators that kept this thing going with their lives and what have you. So on the one hand, I would imagine they want the case to go away, but on the other hand, they've kept it alive. um, I just have a sneaking feeling that Ayub confident soul that he is, feels pretty sure that he can, hop around between Dubai, Egypt, and back to the UK without any great consequence. Rocky, I don't think, is the type that can manage his life that well. In fact, I was going to ask Rocky if he thinks it's a really good idea that he goes ahead with this boxing match on October 18th or 16th, whenever it is, because he's announcing to the world where he will be at a set time. I don't know. Are the police going to be there? Is Warren going to show up? There's a few people that would like to confront Rocky. So I don't know. I think Rocky might be the one that ends up being confronted by someone at some point. And I hate to say it, but I think Ayub is rather slick. I think he
He,
he uh, he flies by the seat of his pants, but he seems to get around without any great hindrance.
I think he thinks he's slick. I think he's more slippery than some of these
Duncan,
guys.
where is Rocky fighting? Where is Duncan fighting?
Duncan's not fighting, are you, Dunks?
No, not me.
Sorry, I didn't mean
No.
Duncan. I meant. Oh, it's late now. Sorry. Where is Rocky fighting? Whereabouts?
I don't know. I mean, he's training up in Manchester area. Um, I thought he was fighting in London, but I don't know. I've seen the poster. I'm embarrassed now because I have seen the poster. I'm sure on the poster it says where this is, but I don't know. We need someone in the comments to say they've seen the poster and it is in Manchester or something.
I've been invited to Bolton on Saturday for it's a boxing stroke bare knuckle promotion. He's
Bear
not on there, so he's not fighting there. But there are yeah, it's a
Yeah,
gloved and bare knuckle. It's quite big now, actually. It's
I
not
know what it
as it
means. I
sounds.
just didn't realise.
I don't think I've got time to go because I need to.
I didn't realise it was such a thing. I didn't realise it was still a thing because I think it's quite barbaric. Don't you think it's barbaric if people are
It is,
fighting
but
gloves?
it is. I'm going off piece, but it's it's over quite quickly. That's the good thing.
I should think
But
it
yeah,
is.
there is a reason why they do have gloves. But
I don't.
it is quite a big thing now. It is quite. There's a lot of money flowing around. You know, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor. He was on that film
I've heard.
Roadhouse. It wasn't as good as the first one, but Conor McGregor is the owner of one of them. It's called the BKB. It's an organisation, and they do have fights, and it is controlled. So there are paramedics there, etc. It's not like on the cobbles with the gypsies, etc. And this
Yeah,
is
and
run
that.
by Dougie Joyce on Saturday, so it's good promotion. So yeah, back to the chat. Teresa Strong, Duncan, do you think Deb's got some type of Osman warning? So a death warning? Random, I don't know.
don't know. I don't think so, but who knows what's going on in the background there.
And
But
who has
I would
that?
have thought something like that would have leaked out. We would have surely heard, wouldn't we?
And who would be giving her that? Would it be the?
It is known. The police normally know first. It happened to Peter Blexley. So I would have thought if she's still around, because they pull you away and they kind of put you in a witness protection program, because they normally know. But obviously anyone can threaten death. But I thought she was also getting doxxed before Jay went missing at her house or something was happening, windows smashed. But I could be wrong. But this was some of the talk. Somebody could clear that up. Obviously Debbie herself, Rachel, or somebody around that area. But yeah, that's what I heard.
Interesting.
Teresa Strong, you can put down in the comments This was ages ago, I think 10:40 something. Oh, not that long ago, 10 minutes ago or so. Teresa Strong, put down in the comments if you've heard, where did you hear that at all? Or was it you're just presuming maybe that she has as a warning because, you know, of the suspicious nature of the case and rugs, etc.
I,
Uh,
I
yeah,
actually believe
put down
that
in
the
the
whole
comments, please.
I actually believe that the whole family is somewhat silenced because of the true nature of the business that Jay was involved in. That's what I think. And I think the only one that wasn't really silenced, especially at the beginning, was Warren. But I think everyone else knew. Um, yeah, it's just that's my belief, and that's not me slagging off the family or anything like that. But from what I've seen, I do believe that the family knew. I think the family knew before Debbie went over. I think all this story about, oh, the police knocked on my door or the police phoned. I mean, it changes every time she opens her mouth. I think it's just hiding the fact that they knew what that boy was up to. And I think that's a shame. I think it's sad for him that he didn't have better guidance. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I think what I do, if it's okay with you guys, we will say our goodbyes. Juggler did say, was your name ages ago? Why is your name highlighted in the chat? Because I put the best comments that I see. I can't see all of them on the stage, so to speak. That's why it was highlighted. It probably hadn't got knocked off like I just did with Teresa there, as you can see in the box. So we're learning. So hopefully we'll get some more lives done. I'll be doing true crime lives. If anyone wants me on talking about the J case, that's fine. And obviously Duncan's available. And I really, I do appreciate everyone in the chat, as well as Jan and Duncan. Thank you very much for coming on, and sorry it was short notice.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'd love to come up and talk to you about any case, to be honest, because I know a lot about different cases across the board. So lovely to speak to you, and lovely to speak to you as well, Dunks.
Yeah, same here, Jan. Good to hear you again. Thanks to Aldon for hosting this. I think it went very smoothly. Shame we didn't get any of my opponents up here. Maybe next time. But there's a lot more to cover on it. So don't, if I can say this, Al, don't run away from the Jay Slater case for a while yet, because um, I think there's a lot more material we can cover in a live like this. So if you just tell me, whichever day you feel like doing this, I'll try to be there. I'm sure Jan will try to be here, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's not abandon this yet.
No, absolutely. I think there is a lot to have gone over. And it'd be nice to be able to speak freely about what we believe happened and, just turn it into a chat as opposed to feeling that we have to fight with people in the comment section. That's not what this should be about. It'd be nice just to be able to chat about things and, just be friendly. And
Sure.
thank you once again, Al, for having me up. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye bye.
yeah. See you, Jan. Thank you very much for coming. There was nearly actually, Duncan, there was nearly 300 in the chat. There was nearly 300 in the chat. So people do want it. They are interested. And yeah, I can come on a live, or I can set up a live and talk about whatever really. So if Jay comes up within the true crime, within the true crime statements, sessions, etc., I can talk about that. That would be fantastic. And true crime in general. So that's what it's all about, and everybody is interested. A lot of people are interested in true crime, whether it's true or not, or whether it's fiction. It's one of the biggest sellers, as I say. Yeah, I would just say goodbye in my usual way. Rosie says goodbye, and she waves at everybody. And yeah, when you do lay your head down, don't have any nasty dreams. I'm over and out. I know how to end it. And I also know that this should be recorded if anyone wants to watch it again. I'm sorry that we didn't get more people on as such. It's probably a bit nerve wracking for some people. Also, I do appreciate that the accident group, the family, etc., obviously just feel we're a load of plonkers and should just shut our mouths. But thanks everyone in the chat. I can't name you, but thanks. And my mods as well. I will look after you. I will see you right. And maybe we'll have a little a day away or something, or meet up and have a coffee or a beer. And maybe even Duncan will be over and he can join in. Thanks very much, everyone. And over and out over to Duncan.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, I didn't know 300 odd in the chat, and that's fantastic. I think the demand is there. Appreciate everyone showing up. And yeah, over and out. I've got to go. Good night, everybody. Buenas noches.
Good night, Duncan, and see you, everyone. It was really, really great. Thanks very much. Until next time.
Yeah, good night.